in Brazil. So Matt, why don't you take it away, and perhaps you want to talk about the kind of work you do on your website. A lot of energy and in-depth matrix work. So perhaps you want to start there by talking about what your mission is on your website.
Sure, thanks, Dale. I know we have limited time now, so I'm trying to share my screen with everyone.
Yeah, so you go up to the left-hand corner, and there's a green box with an arrow. There you go. It worked.
Yeah, I've already done that, and just let me know if you can see my logo on the screen.
It popped up and then disappeared.
All right, let's try again. Let me just make sure. Here we go. Share. Is that working for you guys?
We have it. Performance Matrix Suite.
Perfect. All right, Dale. So as you know, in our last conversation, you were exposed to the fact that with all of the experience I've had over the years, as you mentioned, as a floor trader, working for Goldman Sachs, managing money, transitioning into financial technology, I basically found that backtesting tools were great, but they took a long time. I've used primarily TradeStation over the years. Now I'm switching to the MetaTrader platform, and in order to save myself time and all of my clients and my end users, just to save them time, I basically took on a task to create software that allowed me to provide the end of backtest result into a database. So we came up with Strategy Database, Strategy DB. So Performance Matrix is simply where we warehouse all of the end of backtest results. If you remember, our menu was comprised of 23 basic strategies that the whole world, uses. Everyone's familiar with these strategies like parabolic and Bollinger Bands and RSI, MACD. You and I have used them over the years, right?
Correct.
So taking that a step further and using certain platforms and in-house software, we pump those results out for free, for example, just to provide people with an idea of what we do. We provide some of that research for free on my site, and it's already in the suite link. You can click it and pop it open. Instead of having people look at it inside my site in an iframe, we broke it out, and I work with Zoho reports, and I basically pull in the data, I deliver it real time, and I keep this data grid full of performance summary results. I have done the back testing basically for the end user. So when this finishes processing, you'll see a data grid view that everybody else can go and access with columns of performance results for, this is focused on 15-minute bar interval data for Forex, for about 60 Forex pairs. Okay, so that's the website. Now, just to give everybody a little idea of how it looks behind the scenes, we can just go to TradeStation and say, here's a version that I wrote for TradeStation. It's a little bit trimmed down in my website and the data grids that I deliver. You can get every strategy all at once and then just run a filter for it, right? So here's the 15-minute 60 Forex pair data grid view. So if you were trading dollar yen, let's say, you could come in here to the search box and just filter for dollar yen. You can also manipulate all of these columns. This is free for everybody to sample. You can hide a column, you can filter a column, you can move a column. Here are all the strategies in the database updating in near real time, and the results. So we have all of these metrics going across: the net profit for the back test, looking back 90 days, the profit factor, the percent profitable for the strategies, the number of winners, the number of losers, and of course this will be in the base currency pair, but we've converted it to dollars for you. And then we have other rows over here for yield. And then in my site, we go a step further, and then we also say, sorry, let me just backtrack a little bit here. We go a step further and we say, well, that's a lot of information, Matt. Why don't you rank it for us? So on my site, we also offer two other links. One that does a ranking of the metrics that we've already provided, and then we call it strategy matrix, and we rank the strategies. And then as orders come in for any of the strategies that have fired a new signal, we provide also the strategy alert. So that's the suite, and this is the link. If you want to pass it to your users and everyone listening, they can go there and check that out. But just quickly behind the scenes to show how that might be produced by someone using TradeStation, well, I have all of these built into TradeStation already, and then here is probably the Dow 30 running a single strategy, and then in here we can go in and say, well, show me strategy 1 or strategy 20, and go and get the results pumped right into our grid right here. And we even have a ranking column, and then we can sort. So this is for TradeStation users. We can see that this MACD on Apple is generating the best ranking, and on and on. Another one is here, strategy matrix. For TradeStation is a nice view because you can go across the row and take any Forex pair that you want for any bar interval that you want and say, well, let me see the vote. You're running 23 strategies. One is saying long and one is saying short. And what is the net result? Give me the vote. So the vote would be a percentage of the total. 12 out of 23 or 13 out of 23 will give me a 50% or greater, right? So we have a vote that we can do on a percentage basis going across the row. And then if you want to be strategy crazy and focus on your strategy, you could essentially take a mixed portfolio like I have here and just go down a column and say gap is firing all long signals or all short signals simultaneously from my portfolio. So there are different ways that we've created to go ahead and view a portfolio or multiple strategies. Here's a good grid for you guys because this is off a Forex grid. So we're saying that here's a 15-minute bar interval, and we're not using a history here, Dale. We're just looking back to see what is the current position in the underlying strategy. And then we go over here and we do some things like we take a vote. Here's a minus 69, so I would want to be definitely want to be short based on the vote for the Kiwi right now.
Okay, can you kind of give us a feel, Matt, on what kind of person uses this? I'm still getting an echo. What kind of person, your typical person who subscribes to your service, what are they like? Are they portfolio type traders? Are there people that perhaps maybe only concentrate on 2, 3 different pairs? How do people typically use your matrices?
Sure. So focusing on the initial matrix part, which pretty much drives some of these others like strategy matrix and strategy alerts. They kind of all tie together. The end users that I have currently, I have a few retail clients that basically maybe they're not really programmers, but they're in the beginning of their programming career. By programming, I mean they're using either TradeStation or maybe they're using MetaTrader, and they want to do some scripting work or attack a particular strategy. So using my grid, you could jump in and basically say, well, I don't know the answer to all of these back tests because it would take me hundreds of hours. But Matt, let me use your grid and use it to speed to market an answer. So you would come into the grid and you would say, I trade on a particular time frame. This is my risk profile. I can go in and look at your statistics and see that that's probably a strategy I should look further at and attack. And then from there, I would guide them or consult for them and help them to create a strategy out of the strategy that we've already data mined for you. And then the next level of user could be an asset manager. They would say, Matt, your grids are great, but we don't want to use standard technical analysis strategies. We already have our own strategies, and could you back test those for us in mass and expand the portfolio for which we're looking at these pairs? Can you expand that for us, or just tell us what are the optimal results that we should be using? Now, optimal doesn't necessarily mean, Dale, that you just go in and optimize for a bunch of parameters and throw them something curve fit. It means could be 2-3 months worth of research and development, because the strategies that they're providing me with, or I provide them with, need to be what we call quant vetted. So you would go in and look at a number of different strategies that are being produced, not only the end of results like my data grid views, but also the historical results on a trade by trade basis to see if it's curve fit or not, if it's going to hold up in real time. And then you would have a whole other body of research, and that would be sort of like the way I would work, using a grid to start performing some customizations and then taking the requirements from an institutional level client. And I'm wondering, how much time do we have left? Because
About 15 minutes.
okay, great. So the answer to your question, Dale, is that the end users go all the way from the retail level guys who just want to subscribe and use an out-of-the-box solution like just the Forex, or the other subscriber levels, increasingly become more expensive, but we add a lot more. Like the next level up would be receive 60 Forex pairs, but also receive all North American futures and 100 stocks that you can customize, and you receive 2 bar intervals. And then all of the customizations from there scale up. Say, Matt, I don't want to receive 23 generic strategies. I have my own strategy. Can you put it inside your backtest platform for us? Can you convert it to my platform or MetaTrader or some other platform, right? So we do all of that.
You do a lot of coding work.
Yeah, a lot of coding work, and then in the interim, a lot of research as we enhance the platform further and further. Because as people make more and more requests of us, these are all backtest functionalities that we save and we reuse. We try to retool it and grow it. So if someone says, I need to know historically how this parameter looks because I might want to use it to trade against. Well, what do you mean by that? Well, we want to watch the equity curve, not just the equity, but the equity curve itself. We want to look at the slope. So when the equity actually goes below the linear regression, we want to do something with the strategy. Maybe we want to get flat and wait till it goes back above. Those kinds of things can all be answered with research and development and customizations. So nearly anything can be done, Dale. For your users who are just starting out, you start out with the basic data grid view, and you say, oh my God, Matt's providing us with a million rows worth of results here. I can go in and look for the currency pair I trade or the bar interval I trade and see. I didn't know RSI did that. And I didn't know the yield was so good, and I didn't know it performed so well. But now that when you do find the answer, you can say, what are the parameters you use, Matt? How far did you look back? And then basically, if you're a TradeStation or MetaTrader user, it'll probably match my result. If you're working on another platform, it will hopefully match pretty closely. And then you go and you grab the parameters, and you can throw it on CTrader or eSignal or even an institutional level platform like FlexTrade, for example.
So for people that would look at this and say, "Well, Matt, this is overwhelming to me," and to make things simple, it's just a matter of them deciding upon what kind of strategy they're interested in trading,
Yes.
and what instrument they're interested in trading.
Yes. So, when you narrow down your choice as a trader, and we came from the trading side first, and then we reinvented ourselves, um, and we said, okay, as a trader, if I have all of this information thrown at me, I don't have to do any coding. I'm just going to learn how to use the search box and data mine, for example, in my data grid view. Or if you're using TradeStation, you can actually just come in here and isolate some parameters and go in and say, let me set what I'm trading and do some research. And then the next question is, well, I want to monitor it. Do I want to monitor it across all strategies or one strategy? And then I want to get I want to get the alerts here. So here's the suite. And then then we have other tools that we can use to basically use to trade it on. And then Dale, I get the same question a lot. Traders in Brazil are just like traders in the rest of the world. They don't have a lot of time, and they want an answer fast. So I hear that request a lot. Matt, we're not quants. We don't do research and development. You're giving us a great search box tool here, but dude, what do we do with it next? Well, to take that answer, to answer that question for the trader, what we're doing now is we're turning it into an actual full-blown trading strategy. We've always had the ability to do that in TradeStation, but now we're moving into the other platforms. So basically, we're creating a dynamic trading module in MetaTrader that will dynamically select the right strategy for you. So just to give your end users an idea of how you would proceed to do that, and it's not that hard at all, you would basically say, take this indicator and do a little back testing in the code. And then here we're publishing to the MetaTrader indicator in the top area the results in pips terms. MACD for dollar, for euro, for the hourly, looking back 90 days, generated this many pips. And then we can look at all of the other statistics and then get a ranking, Dale. So the net rank, because of other poor statistics, ranks this at a 0. But and so too, the other rankings on this page look poor. But here's a 4 hidden down here. Can you guys see it on my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So this 4 would be an hourly RSI on the Euro US, and that's just basically using the regular RSI parameters that everybody uses, 30 and 70. And my publication here to the screen is telling me that when you add up the performance requirements that you're looking for, like is the net profit greater than 0, and is the profit factor greater than 2, and on, that my ranking is telling me that this meets all of my requirements. It's a little bit hard to see. But the next step, Dale, is that our MetaTrader solution, at least, will take the answer 4 and will auto trade into the Euro US hourly, and we'll turn that strategy on. And when the publication to the indicator says, well, you've done a few losing trades, you're no longer a 4, you've become a 3, but now there's another strategy better than you, it'll auto trade the new strategy that has the best ranking.
Interesting. And you wrote all this.
So this isn't.
You wrote all this program.
Well, I wrote all of it in TradeStation, and my programming team and I, we ported it over to MetaTrader, because in Brazil, TradeStation's not in town yet. They're looking to come into Brazil, but they haven't partnered with a broker yet. But in Brazil, the 2 or 3 largest retail brokers have all embraced MetaTrader. So XP Investimentos, for example, in Brazil, would be the largest broker, and the second one would be Rico, which down here we pronounce Rico. It means rich, and they actually allow for their individual accounts to trade into MetaTrader now. So I'm actually helping them with tests for some of their in-house strategies, and this is a solution that I'll put in the MetaTrader store, and potentially all of your users can go and grab it when it's listed, which should be by month end this month. And then if you want to turn for any forex pair in Medic, we have a solution for MT4 and MT5. So then here's the same thing for dollar yen, and this guy would just pick the best strategy in here and then auto trade it. And now that you've got me rambling, I'll
All
tell
right,
you the
so
final functionality, Dale.
this is really for someone who is not a discretionary trader and wants to take all the emotion out and a systemic type of trader.
That's true. If you did have just if you did have your traders are trading, they're making their own decisions. So imagine that you either went to my grid or went to TradeStation and just reviewed some of the performance, or went to MetaTrader. Using these types of back tests that are already done for you, and all of my solutions update in real time. You could put your strategy or trading indicators side by side with mine, and then you would say, well, this has a ranking of 5 and it's giving me a buy signal, and my own indicator is also telling me to go long. So now I have a confluence of factors. So that's the way I would personally use it. And if you're a discretionary trader and you just want some like an automated trading assistant, there you have it.
Okay. All right, so another tool for people to consider that want to have at least something automated for them to fall back on and I guess the discretion is the decision on what kind of strategy and the instruments that you trade, and then always having the open mind to seeing what other strategies are working better. Have I encapsulated it?
That's it, Dale. You said it better than I could. And the thing about the way the markets work these days is that as an individual trader sitting at home trading or sitting in your own office, the way your watchers, your viewers are trading, and yourself and myself sometimes, there's too much information to watch. So a tool like a strategy matrix tool lets you see across multiple symbols, and it lets you see, potentially you could put up a couple of these and watch multiple time frames, but it lets you see across multiple strategies. Now, the reason I think the multiple strategy view for traders like us is important is because you're not only getting range trading strategies in here, but you're getting breakout strategies, trend trading strategies, swing strategies, so gap open, close, Keltner. So these are all incorporated, and if you're using them like a voting tool, you almost have a better overview of the market as a whole. So these are all tools, Dale, and it's for the end user to decide what to use. When we spoke last time, I have my own tools that I use, and maybe just in parting, I could talk to the end users about something that I've seen over the years and observed, and maybe they want to look at it as well. And that is, it's just based on a chart. It's just simple market structure. So let me go in and pull up a chart. And where did it go? Here we go. In TradeStation, if it will let me pull open a chart.
Yeah, we're looking at Euro. We're looking at the Euro daily, 90-minute, and 15-minute.
Okay, good. So we can take any chart. I won't even pull up a new one. I'll just clean the screen off for us. Okay. Okay, so here we have a basic chart, and now we'll just scroll over. And Dale, you're experienced. Some of the viewers may also have their own mindset about this, and it's something that I want to codify. I've played with it a little bit. I just haven't had the time. But let's say you're looking for support and resistance on a basic chart, right? Mm-hmm. Let me do a screen refresh so that this will come into full view. For swing traders, I'm sure people are looking at classic formations like head and shoulders, tops and bottoms. So here's the 15-minute Euro. When you're looking for support and resistance, a lot of people are looking at extreme lows and or extreme. This is an extreme high. This is clearly an extreme low. But now you're looking to trade whatever your trading style. It doesn't matter. One of the things that I want to point out to everybody is that trying to find a really good example. We call up a 90. Is basically market structure. I'm not looking for extreme highs and lows. I'm looking for an area where I can sell it well below a previous high, and say that I have a low risk trade in place because I placed my stop here. So here's the key. This significant high here has a low underneath it. See it?
Yeah.
Okay. So that low is in place. This is a swing low, and then you go on to trade after it, but you're wondering, where can I comfortably buy it? If it's trading up here, where can I buy a dip? This is support. Should I try to buy the support at the lowest low? Where should I put my stop in? So one of the things that I've noticed over the years is that this low is not going back to retest and double bottom here. It's going back to test the support inside here, the high of this move, the low of this move. Okay? It's like making a bowl formation and then holding inside the high of the lowest low. So I want your users to think about the highs inside lowest lows and look for that to be the support instead of looking at the lows to be support. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand my point?
Yeah, got it.
Okay, good.
So what's the best way for people to get in touch with you, Matt?
Okay, everybody can just go straight to the website, to strategydb.com. Anybody that wants to shoot me a message there can find my contact form and contact me like that. So just looking at the dailies, I found a good example. The high of this move is support. See, right here. These lows would be where you would want to buy it. And you would know that in advance by using the high of the swing low. Don't use the swing low itself. And again here, you would use the low, these two lows near the swing high, and then you would get in right around here, and then you'd be short on this bar. So have a look at that, and please, anybody who has interest to contact me about anything that I've shown today, feel free.
Thanks so much for your time, Matt. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Dale. Sorry about
Thanks
the
for
delay.
your